Welcome back to another day on the build. As you can see, the wall is up to whatever imperfect state it is up. And so we've only got this one more to go. This shitty little broom here is $1.50 at Walmart. Alright, so we've got this piece of wall up without too much incident. And this is the same thing that I did over here, if you recall. Pretty sure I covered that in previous videos, where I built the 8-foot section here, then the 4-foot section here. And the reason for that arrangement, same as I did with the floor here, is because this is going over the loft, and that's, you know, not quite as structurally supported. So I wanted the longer bit to be over this so there's more support. You know, basic stuff. Anyway, so the issue is, you know, if I was sheeting this after it was stood up, then like from the outside, which I'm gonna have to get up there and do it anyway, but instead of having to carry plywood up, what I'm doing is like pre-sheeting it and standing it up and sliding it in. Thus, I'll have to have an extra stud here, just like I did here. It's not really like the way I would prefer to do it. I'd like to build it as one solid wall. Feel something around my nose. Anyway, I'd rather it be one solid wall than to have like two sections and have to kind of split them, splice them, put them together. But it's the only way I can do it right now. So anyway, we got this one more 4-foot section. I got the stuff already cut for it, and I just gotta frame it up and then get the last sheet of T111 from below up to the top here and nail it in. So there's the frame for the last bit of the wall up here in the loft. Just gotta get it sheeted. And the way I've been getting sheets up here, which I'll show you in a minute, it's gonna be a little bit compromised by this situation here. Probably should have left this wall down and to get that other sheet up first, but what's done is done. We'll see if we can work with this. How's the sky looking? Yeah, this one's gonna be a little bit more challenging. Nope. Don't do it. Stuck on it. This tree is right in the way. Who put it there? Fuck. Sorry if you're looking at my ass, I just need a second. Just slide a little more. See? Easy. Alright. So there it is up in the hole. Oh, startled. Thought I heard something. Anyway. And this is what I've been doing. I've been using this leverage stick I made. I just took up a spare piece of scrap wood and screwed it on there. And I basically, like when I was doing the other ones, I showed you the very worst one I possibly could because it doesn't work so well in that one, but I would put it up against those like that and then pull it off of here to here and then roll it over onto this and slide it down so that caught it, and then as you saw I just raise this up and it pushes it up against the wall and gives me some clearance under it, and then I have to finagle my way around this board and lift it up and then push it on up. And over here it's much easier, like when I had the whole floor open of course, and then I had this whole area to back up into as I was pulling it out to lift it. So yeah, that's how every piece of T111 got up to the top to sheet the walls for the loft. And yes, it was very tiring doing that, but it was the only way I could figure. If I left the loft open, like on that end that I closed in, then I maybe could have tried to do it inside, but I feel like with that cramped space it would have been even harder. I don't know. Maybe I should have tried it, but I didn't. So anyway, if this goes well, I think my measurement's a little bit off here, of course, so I'm gonna have to see what I can do about it. But if I can get this wall up, then we'll be completely walled in. And you know, I just have to nail the bottoms of all the sheets to the rim joist. I got to get the corners that overlap nailed in, and then something like that, somewhere around there we'll be done with the wall sheathing and everything else. It's not perfect, there's gaps, there's inconsistencies. This inconsistency here was intentional because of the cut that I had on that. I wanted it to be higher rather than lower in order to get the even cut that I wanted, since these are my recycled boards from my botched rake wall attempt. And so I just pulled it up and I figured I can do something to make that look better rather than having, you know, a big gap at the top that would be harder to patch up or whatever. So that's what's going on there, if you were wondering. Well, as you saw, it took some finagling, but we got it in. It is not perfect. Okay then, so as you can see, the wall is up, secured. I trimmed all the C111 off the top, and it's quite the nasty looking job, but I just needed to make sure it wasn't going to stick up too high to interfere with the rafters. Can't really be too worried about it being pretty when I'm, you know, limited in how I have to work with things, so it is what it is. As you can see, you know, I've been playing with this rafter here to get my measurements and stuff. This is the first one that I made to to check out a method of making a rafter, and it's not perfect, obviously. It might be usable, but I'm gonna start out with a fresh board and try to do it again, and now that I got all the walls up, to make sure I got as much of an accurate estimate as I can get. And you know, we'll see how that goes. But anyway, now that this is done, I still have to nail this top plate. I couldn't get up to it, both of those boards. So yeah, I gotta, now that I have these walls up, I might make my little scaffolding thing like I did downstairs and get that done. But that's it. I hope for framing the walls. I gotta nail them off like on the joints and stuff, but I got the overlap nailed here, and I got it nailed on the floor. So hopefully that's good enough. Feels pretty solid, I mean, relatively speaking. Anyway, so yeah, anyway, after I take care of the, like, you know, button up kind of things with the framing here, then I guess we're gonna try to get started on the rafters and see if we can get a roof on this thing. That's gonna be a thing.